Welcome to the Pentateuch. I'm Dr. Bechtold, and I'll be your instructor. As for the next 8 weeks, we explore the first 5 books of the Old Testament. I'm really excited about this class. I think, even though we have a small class, I think that can be beneficial because with small class, I think the discussions can go into a little bit more depth. This video is meant to introduce what we're going to be talking about this week and to kind of take care of some housekeeping matters. I will be posting at the first of every week an introduction video that will be introducing the material that we will be talking about that week, and of course other issues that might come up with the class. I will also be posting starting next week a summary video of what we had done the previous week. Now for this week one, to get off on the right foot, I want to encourage you to make sure you read the syllabus and the discussion board expectations that I have posted. It's in the syllabus section of the class. Those discussion board expectations are very important because as you're doing the discussion boards, what I will be looking for when I'm grading them are based on those expectations. And one thing that I look for more than anything else is sufficient citation of scripture to support your answer, to support your case or your argument, whatever you're making. This doesn't mean that you have to directly quote every passage. In fact, the directly quoting, assume that your audience has a Bible, so only directly quote that material which is absolutely relevant and apropos to the argument you're making. If the wording of the text is something that you need to cite to prove something, then that's fine. Otherwise, you can just cite the book, the chapter, and the verse. Also, you'll need to be interacting with your textbook reading to show that you've been reading that and bring that to bear on your discussions. This is, I think, the biggest issue that most students have when they don't receive the grade that they want or expect from a discussion board is that they don't cite sufficient scripture. So make sure you are citing sufficient relevant scripture. Make sure you're doing that, and of course that you're interacting with one another more than just this isn't for cheerleading as in, hey, great post. I mean, yes, you can encourage one another, and I highly encourage that, so to speak. But I'm looking for substantive feedback, substantive discussion and conversation on these as you work together to make sure that all of you understand it and you can fill in the blanks for your classmates or ask questions, draw more out. I will be posting. I don't want to just jump in the conversation immediately. I like to sit back and see how the conversation goes for a little while. And then after everyone's first posts are in and the conversation's gone, I'll post a thread oftentimes that is intended to move the conversation along. Or I will post it to you as individuals on your threads, and the purpose of that, again, is to move the discussion along, maybe point out something you haven't thought of, or go back and relook at something from a different perspective. If I do ask you a question on the discussion board, just like if we were in class, in a seated class, and the professor asked you a question, you would answer. So if I do ask you a question, I expect you to answer, but that does not count as interaction with your classmates. So if I ask you a question and you respond to it, you're still required, per the discussion board expectations, to respond to your classmates as well and to interact with them. So make sure you're doing that. Look over that discussion board expectation PDF that I have posted in the syllabus section of the class, and let me know if you have any questions. This week we're going to be talking about authorship of the Pentateuch. This is one of the most debated and controversial elements of the Pentateuch, the first 5 books. The traditional view is that Moses is responsible for the authorship of the Pentateuch. If he didn't write every word, at least he wrote most of it, and there might have been some editing afterwards. This is the traditional view. Starting really in the 19th century, even a little bit before that, but really hardcore in the 19th century, scholarship started questioning that, and to the point where most historical critical scholars don't believe Moses had anything at all to do with the writing of the Pentateuch, or if he did, it was very, very, very little. In fact, many deny that Moses existed at all. We, of course, hold to Mosaic authorship of the Pentateuch, and I think we have good reason to, but you're going to need to be looking at that case and arguing for it. We're also going to be looking at some basic stuff in Genesis. I look forward to this week, look forward to the class. And as always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate. You can to ask. You can email me, or you can the instructor information part of the class. You can see my number. You can give me a call in my office, or if you're on campus, you can arrange to come and make an appointment and come see me during office hours. I hope we have a great 8 weeks, and I look forward to seeing you on the discussion boards.